I think a lot of people misunderstand what it means to use AI well. When an AI gives them a disappointing result, they conclude the AI isn't very good. When it gives them a great result, they immediately start talking as if they've discovered a new form of digital consciousness. One useful email later, and suddenly we are discussing whether it has feelings, goals, and an inner life. I think both reactions miss something very important. Today I want to show you a simple product management exercise that I've been using for a long time. Rapid prototyping with AI. Not to build a real product, not to launch an application, but to make an idea concrete enough that potential users can react to it, but also that I can react to it, critique it, and improve my own thinking. And I believe this shows something important about agency, judgment, and how we should use AI without handing over too much of ourselves. The example is simple. Imagine a user who wants to go to the gym 3 times a week and meditate 5 times a week. I'm going to ask an AI to create a standalone HTML prototype. Just one file, something I can copy into a, let's say, index.html, open locally, and use as a fake product mockup. No real backend, no real calendar integration, no real application. Just enough simulated interface to test the idea. I'm going to start with a prompt that is clear technically but vague from a product perspective. That distinction is quite important. I'm not asking the AI to build a real application. I'm asking for a self-contained mockup, but I'm not giving it too much judgment about what kind of product this should be. And that is where the interesting failure begins. Feel free to pause the video and see the prompt in detail. Here I'm asking for a modern habit tracking prototype. I'm telling it the user wants to go to the gym 3 times per week and meditate 5 times per week. I'm also making the format clear. One standalone HTML file, no external libraries, fake data, simulated UI flow. So if this goes wrong, it won't be because the AI misunderstood the file format. It will be because I left the product thinking too open. And this is the result. It looks fine, I guess. It has a few progress bars, streaks, cards, motivational language, maybe some achievement style elements I see. It is not terrible, but it is generic. It assumes that the core problem is tracking. It assumes the user needs motivation. It also assumes engagement mechanics are useful. I never said those things, but I also never said otherwise. This is the key point. The AI did not fail in some dramatic way. It filled in the blanks, and when we use AI, this is constantly happening. If we do not supply the framing, the model will infer one. If we do not specify trade-offs, it will choose some. If we do not explain what matters, it will optimize for the most common pattern it has seen. That is not magic, and it is not consciousness either. It is simply making assumptions. As a product manager, this is exactly where judgment matters. The question is not, can AI generate a nice-looking screen? Of course it can. The question is, does the screen reflect the product philosophy I actually believe in? In this case, I do not want a habit tracker that simply celebrates activity. I want a support tool that helps a busy person decide what action makes sense today. So now let's refine the prompt. But notice what I'm adding. I'm not adding more technology. I'm adding context. The user already wants to go to the gym and meditate. Their problem is not motivation. Their problem is prioritization and consistency when the week gets busy. That changes the product completely. I'm also adding a simulated Outlook calendar integration, not a real one of course, just a fake calendar data in the prototype, because now the product has a more specific logic. If today the user has 8 calls, maybe the app should suggest a 10-minute meditation. If today the user has only 2 calls and enough free time, maybe the app could suggest going to the gym. The point is not tracking for its own sake. The point is helping the user make better decisions based on their schedule. Now, as you can see, the prompt is much more constrained. I'm saying that this is not a generic habit tracker. I'm saying that it should avoid streaks, badges, levels, leaderboards, and motivational quotes. I'm saying the primary screen should answer one question: what should I do today? And I explain the fake calendar logic that should drive the recommendation. Now the interface is doing something different. It is showing the weekly goals, but it is not obsessed with streaks. It shows today's calendar, the available gaps, and the reason behind the recommendation. The product is no longer saying keep your streak alive. It is saying, given your actual day, this is the most realistic next action. That is a very different product judgment. Here it's what I want you to notice. The AI generated both versions. The first version was not produced by a bad AI. The second version was not produced by a suddenly brilliant AI either. The difference was that I stopped delegating the judgment. I gave the model more of my own framing. I explained the real user problem. I clarified what should be avoided. I made the trade-offs explicit. This is why I think AI is most powerful when we use it alongside our own thinking. The value is not that it removes the need to think. The value is that it lets us externalize thought quickly. We can create a mock-up, react to it, spot what feels wrong, and refine the idea. And of course, what you saw here is just one example. The loop, it's incredibly useful, but only if we stay involved. Only if we keep asking, what assumptions are really being made here? This matters because AI often feels confident and sounds like an authority. It gives you something polished, and polish can be seductive. A beautiful interface can hide a weak product idea. A confident answer can hide an assumption. A complete prototype can make you feel as if the thinking has already been done. But the thinking has not necessarily been done. Sometimes it has just been filled in. So when I'm saying that we should not delegate judgment to AI, I do not mean we should avoid using AI. I mean the opposite. Use it actively, use it to prototype faster, use it to compare options, use it to make vague ideas visible, use it to challenge your first instinct, but do not confuse output with judgment. The output is material. Your job is still to decide what matters. For product managers, this is especially useful. You can use this method before writing tickets, before involving engineering, before spending days in a design tool. You can create a rough simulation of a feature and ask yourself, does this solve the right problem? What assumptions does it make? What does it encourage the user to do? What does it ignore? That is product thinking. AI just makes the loop faster. And this is the broader lesson. The first prompt gave me something plausible. The second prompt gave me something closer to what I actually meant. Not because the AI discovered my intention, but because I expressed my intention more clearly. That is the relationship I think we should have with these systems. Not worship, not rejection, but partnership with responsibility. So I would encourage you, the next time an AI gives you an output you do not like, do not stop at the AI failed. Ask, what did I leave unsaid? What judgment did I accidentally delegate? What assumptions did it make because I did not provide mine? That is where the real work is. Use AI to think faster, prototype, explore ideas faster, but do not outsource the assumptions. That part is still yours. Thank you for watching.